Welcome to the Helix webinar series. This session is on what's new in BMC Helix operations management with AIOps in 25.2. It's the first of two sessions that we're running. So if you do have any colleagues in APAC or India that want to attend the second session, we do have that on the 28th of May. Joining me today is not one, but two of our product managers. So they will be covering different sections. So the first is Amol Rastogi, our principal product manager. And then we've also got Anuj Gupta, our principal product manager, who will start us off today, and they will do their formal introductions when we get started. Before we do so, I just want to cover a legal notice. We will be covering today quite a lot of roadmap content. So if you can take a few minutes to read what's on the screen. And also a reminder for those that don't use Zoom very often, we do have the Q&A section of Zoom, which you'll find at the bottom. And in there, you can put your questions during the session, the demos and the content we're sharing. And then we will have roughly 10 minutes or so at the end where we'll take some of the questions live. So do keep it interactive. And if we do miss any questions, we will follow up and provide a blog post. And you will remain muted until towards the end, just so we can get through the content today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Anuj, who will do his formal introduction and get us started. So over to you, Anuj.
Yep. Thanks, Sam. Hello, everyone. My name is Anuj Gupta. So I work as a principal product manager here at BMC, and I'm primarily working on the operations management, leveraging the AIOps, the AI-driven capabilities to augment and enhance our operations management and make the experience better for our customers and users. So I'll be covering the first part of the session, wherein I'll be going a bit about what is the new capabilities, some of the good stuff that we have delivered in the last 25.2 release, which was out in the market in the month of April. Okay, with that said, so what you can see on my screen are some of those highlights from our last quarterly release, which is our 25.2. So I'll give you a brief here and then go into some of these capabilities as we proceed. And again, if there are any questions, feel free to ping me on chat, and I'm happy to take those questions. Okay, so the first capability is around our multi-service situations. As we get the events, as we correlate the events and form situations, we have enhanced that situations to now include to be able to correlate across different services or be able to associate with the CIs which are outside of the service boundaries. So that's what we have around the multi-service situations. Next piece we have is on the service health score. So service health score is one of the important metric that we provide as part of our service-centric monitoring. And we have provided an alternate and easier way to compute the health score calculations. So that's another good usability improvement. The next set of enhancements are around our new HelixGPT based connectors, be it to get the incidents data, to get the changes data, or to get the logs data. So we have built these connectors for to get the data from Helix ITSM or from the Jira to get the contextual information in context of our situations to troubleshoot and provide a lot more holistic view of what is the problem, why it is occurring, what does our the events data tell us, what does our incidents or what does the changes tell us, and what does the information from logs are there. So that's where all of this data gets consolidated, and then as part of the situations best action plans and situation and best action recommendations, we want to provide a lot more precise root cause analysis as well as provide the next set of best actions for the operator to act upon. Okay. Moving on, we have the service predictions capability. So it is part of our predictive AIOps capabilities, wherein we want to provide predictive alerting in future before the issues impact the service. So if a particular health indicator of interest is impacting, in the next 24 hours, in the next 12 hours, the operator can be alerted so that he can take proactive actions to resolve those issues. Next capability around the post-mortem analyzer is an interesting one. It leverages our HelixGPT agentic AI framework. We have built an AI agent around the post-mortem analyzer, which internally leverages the 5 why analysis to look at the overall situation. What is the root cause? Why did it occur? What was the impact? What is the resolution? And then provide a lot, that analysis for the users along with the resolution plan. And last but not the least is our insight finder capability, which is again, we let users interact with our Helix GPT and instantly create visualizations on the fly, and then be able to save it and share it as we proceed. Okay, so this is uh, some of the key highlights from our release. So I'm going to move to the next slide to go into each of these. So on the multi-service situations, so what I mean is, we have been looking at situations so far in the context of a service, and then correlating the events within that context of service. By working with different customers, we have found that sometimes the CIs which are really impacting that service, or that CI which is part of the service, is outside of the service boundary, and hence we are not able to identify the root cause properly. That is where we have enhanced our situations to form situations even for CIs which are outside of our service boundary, but yet topologically connected to my service there. Or what if there's a common CI which is across different services. So rather than making different situations, we now want to have one single situation across these different services. And what if, there's only a single event which is impacting a service? You can't do event correlation, but then if you have similar events across different services also, then we can also correlate each of those events and provide the former situation. So that's what we have as part of our multi-service situations. Next is on the situations again is around our usability enhancement. So based on the feedback asked from the customers, we have provided a case insensitive search. So you can search it now using the uppercase, lowercase, or even have the regex based search to filter out the required data. As well as along with the situation search, the same search box is also enhanced to also provide the service name there, so that you can get all the list of situations for the given service of interest. So that's another usability enhancement. And to add to that, we have also provided the notes capabilities, just like have been having on the event side. So similarly, in the situation also, you can view the notes or add the notes to a situation. And so this provides a lot more enhanced collaboration and analysis by the multiple stakeholders who are working to solve the situation. Okay. On the service health monitoring part, what I earlier mentioned is about the service health score computation. So by default, we have this node kind based computation which uses the weightage of the different nodes which are part of my service, and by associating the weightages for each of the CIs, we were calculating the health score. Now, with a new additional impact severity based, what we have also provided is that based on the highest severity of our event on a given service node, that becomes the health score for that particular service node, and then the same logic replicates upstream also. So the severity of the impact becomes another key thing. And add to that another usability improvement that we have done is the on the incident side. The way we were calculating it earlier has been enhanced to now only include all the open incidents only. So the closed, cancelled, and all the other incidents which are not relevant to calculate the MTTR and all is moved out from the incident calculation. Okay. Moving on, as I mentioned around the situations best action plan. So we have, so Helix GPT, as you're aware, is the BMC's um, fabric around the AI/ML, around our Gen AI, as well as now the latest and upcoming agentic AI framework. So as part of enhancing that, as part of providing a lot more context, so we have provided certain smart data connectors to get the incidents from the Helix ITSM as well as some Jira, and we are also working on a couple of more even from the other ticketing tools. So the whole idea is in context of my problem or the situation, by leveraging these connectors, we pull in the incidents or the changes data. We look at some of the key feeds like what are the resolution notes, what are the incident work logs, what is the information which is there. So Helix GPT will read these information for my related incidents as well as the past related incidents for the given situation, and be able to update the situation summary and as well as provide a lot more precise best action plans or for the given situation. This gives a lot more context to the situations, and gives a lot more precise summary of what has been updated by the operator on the service on the ITSM side. Now, along with incidents, I mean, changes, as we know, is another of our very, very important, from a service ops perspective, important data point to look at. And the studies have also shown that, 60 to 70% of the outages in our production environment can often be traced to one or the other change which that has been deployed. And hence, so what we are also doing is, so this capability was done earlier also, but now what we have announced is again we have provided these smart Helix GPT based connectors, which will pull in the changes from our Helix ITSM right now. Again, we have on plan to even pull changes from other service management tools, but right now with Helix ITSM, in context of that situation, so the all the changes which are in implementation in progress currently, which have been completed or let's say closed in the last 24 hours, 2 hours, or 2 days, depending on that user configuration, will be analyzed in context of the situation, and then the our so user can then troubleshoot if any of my change events is really causing the given problem, and user can always do a cross launch back and forth between the AIOps as well as the ITSM site for in context information and more deep dive information around the change connectors there. Okay, moving on. This is our BMC Helix log connectors. Again, just like uh, often a lot of we are aware, and even based on the feedback from the users, logs are generally supposed to have a lot more rich information. There are those records in time which captures what happened before, during, and after that problem which has occurred. And that is where what we have done is a very innovative way of providing these just-in-time log connectors, again leveraging our Helix GPT framework. So today, as we are speaking, we have these connectors from our BMC Helix log analytics. In addition, we have also provided connectors from ClickHouse, Splunk, and Elastic. So wherein if customers are using any of these log repositories, so in context of a situation, we will query the respective log repository and pass those parameters like the time, the service ID, or the impacted host, query these log databases, and get the data in context of the problem. And then that is where the Helix GPT comes into play. So if we pull in those lines of logs which are very verbose in general, Helix GPT will help us to summarize that information and provide us in context of that situation. So the whole idea is operator doesn't have to really go into each of those logs and each of the raw logs, but you can get a lot more meaningful summary there. And obviously, we provide the cross launch there so that just in case you need to get deep into it, you can, in context of that situation, you can filter the associated logs in the respective log repository. And as you're speaking, the whole idea is that even we will be, in fact, taking one step ahead and even updating our, with our agentic AI framework. We are even going to update the situations RCA also based on the information that we collect from the logs. And again, and we are open to having these design partnerships around some of these log monitoring repositories, or if there are any other log monitoring capabilities that you're using in your deployments. Next piece is around our predictive AIOps capability, which is around our service predictions. Uh, so we have this capability earlier also for some time, but we have done some good enhancements there. So the whole idea is how do we, preempt or provide, prevent issues from occurring? How do we, make sure that my service is up and running always and not be on a reactive way? And that is where what we do is we let users define those health indicators. So health indicators are nothing but those KPIs or those key metrics which are of interest and which will determine if my service is if those are impacted, let's say my service is likely to be impacted. So we let users define those. They can be defined in a static way, or it can be using the regex based also there. Once the health indicators are defined, we leverage our auto anomaly detection capability provided in our operations management to define the thresholds on these automatically. So it will set all these baselines, lower thresholds, upper thresholds, and as part of our prediction, so whenever those are impacted, uh, whenever the thresholds are breached in the future, that's where the prediction events are generated, which will tell that hey, this particular metric, availability or latency, is going to increase, or the database query time is likely to be increased in the next 24 hours. As a result, the database may be slowed down. So let's act now. So that is where the service predictions will come in handy also there. Okay, and at some point we will also be able to share some of the other roadmap capabilities around predictions. We have a lot more plans also on how do you even eventually link it with our situations also for a more balanced, actionable thing that we can take on predictions. Moving on, the post-mortem analyzer. So as I mentioned earlier, so it leverages our BMC Helix GPT agentic AI framework. Uh, so the whole idea is, you keep asking why, what is the problem, why you keep asking why till you really get to the bottom of the issue. And that is what we have done by leveraging, we let the our we have developed this agent, intelligent AI agent, which will keep on looking at all the underlying data, because we have this unified platform. So we have the events, logs, metrics, incidents, changes, all in context on that platform. It will keep on querying, look at all these associated data to understand, okay, why is this problem happening? What happened? Why this? Why that? And then be able to do provide us a root cause analysis and what is the actual problem, which then becomes an input to the service owner to how can they optimize the service also, so that it is not transactional, but it is planned ahead in terms of how do you optimize your service, how do you take those actions there. I have this quick, demo piece that I have recorded here. So so this is your situations view, wherein you see there's a problem on the high SQL wait time on your database. Under best action recommendations, we have this run wise thing. So we are querying the Helix GPT to say, hey, can you, run the 5 why analysis and tell me what is the information, why this problem occurred. And what you see here is a whole a list of the analysis it has done why was the SQL wait time high, why did it exceed the threshold, why is so and so thing experiencing issues, and then you get to the okay, now based on all these analysis, so we feel this is the root cause of the problem, this is the current status, and so this needs to be done to fix the problems in general. So if there are other similar problems also which are occurring related to this problem, so we now understand, okay, this is the area that we need to optimize and troubleshoot. Okay, so that's on the our 5 analysis. The next piece I have is around our Insight Finder capability. So Insight Finder for AIOps is again, it is still iterative, but we have the initial version out, wherein we have provided a more chat interface, a conversational experience for the user, so they can chat with the Helix GPT and say that, hey, I'm looking for certain information. So HelixGPT will process that. Again, it's all natural language. So HelixGPT will process that thing and provide us that visualization on the fly. And then user can interact with it to say that, hey, I want some, not this and that, and I want to even add more panels. And so what you get is you can even a layman who doesn't know how to use our BI tool, they can create the meaningful dashboard of interest related to obviously the our service health monitoring, the events, the issues that we're facing, and all. And then you can also save the dashboard also, and share it with the other users also. So let me quickly help you run this, a quick snippet of this. So here, so this is a blank page, a blank dashboard. As you can see, we are in this dashboards view, and we have asked the HelixGPT Insight Finder to, give me or show me all the events which have been opened in my last 7 days, and group by severity. Okay. So now HelixGPT will again interact with the underlying platform and say that, okay, hey, this is the data that we have. And now if this is a, let's say, bar chart. Now, if you want to convert it to a pie chart, can you do that? Yes, it has converted it into a pie chart. And then you want to add another panel. So we are asking, now show me the only the closed events, in the last 7 days, again grouped by the severity. So it has provided us that panel, and now if you want to add another, a panel, so you can ask and query, hey, give me the recent CPU utilization, for example, for a given CI or the host of interest. And that is where it will provide you this CPU utilization. Now you can expand or shorten this visualization as per the requirement and keep on adding these. And then you can also, so you can expand and this, and then you can always save this dashboard also, and then forward it there. Okay. And yeah, so it's I think now very quick to create the dashboards and be a lot more productive with our visualizations. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so with that, this is where we have these AIOps capabilities. Now I'll pause here and hand it over to my colleague Anmol Rastogi, who is going to take us over the operations management and some of the new capabilities out there. And I believe, Sam, the Q&A will be taken towards the end, right? So I'll.
That's correct. Yeah. If you want to answer questions while Mole's presenting, feel free and welcome to. Otherwise, we'll do the questions at the end, and that's in the
Perfect.
Q&A section. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
So my name is Anmol Rastogi, and I'm Principal Product Manager for BHome, Patrol Agent, KM, basically anything that comes to the collection side. So that's also I'm owning it. So I'm going to talk about what's new in 25.2. And as we all know that BHome is basically a middle layer between AIOps and the data collection. So data collection is happening, and to make it perfectly working with AIOps, the middle layer, which is BHome, needs to be enhanced in a way that it works in the conjunction with AIOps. Then it also brings the meaningful, event for the visualization purpose. So what we did in 25.2, we focus on the core area of event management, as well as the way customers are using the groups, as well as improvising our existing baseline and auto anomaly event feature. So starting from the baseline from 25.2, what we work while we working with the customers, we identified few gaps in some of the use cases where we see the customers are asking, hey, you are doing the baseline for the weekly basis. Now, what will happen, if there is a trend change going to be happen on an every hour, or let's say if, few metrics are qualifying only for monthly, weekly, or weekend, right, or daily, and all sorts of these things, right? So basically, the way they're asking is that how to identify the seasonality into the metrics, right? So what we did is we basically, enhance our baseline. Now for every metrics, we have 4 types of baseline. trend analysis based on monthly, weekly, daily, and hourly. Now, on a particular day, let's say, if there is a baseline that got changed, right? It's basically detect an auto anomaly event, right? Now, what we also did on top of those four baseline, we also provides the auto anomaly, event management capabilities, because while working with the customers, they says this baseline also, generate a lot of noise, and some of those metrics did not qualify for they did not basically, qualify for generating an auto anomaly event, right? For example, to take here is as such, the response time, where it's always good that the website is responding with a lower, time to present the data, right? So it's always good in terms of the response time. If let's say the response time is 1 second, it's always good. But earlier this was not the case. It detected as an baseline, lower baseline violation, and then it's basically gives an event. Then customers started to complain about those use cases. So what we did is we also provided the anomaly event management capabilities, where customer can give the feedback not to generate an event on set metrics for the lower baseline. And if there are use cases where customers do not want to get an event for the higher baseline, or in fact, if customer sees that few of the metrics are not useful for me, and I do not want to get an auto anomaly event on those metrics, then that is also possible. As I called out, that event management is our core capability in BHOM. We continuously keep on enhancing our core event management capabilities. One of the example which we have basically to introduce the agent tag in the event. So I know that customers usually mark whenever they deploy the agent onto the system, they usually mark that this Windows agent basically qualifies to monitor Windows server as well as SQL server. So the way actually they deploy it, it is like that. And then they wanted to do the event enrichment based on this agent tag. So earlier this agent tag was missing. Now we have introduced this agent tag into the event as well. And using this agent tag capability, you can actually, select those event into the event selection criteria that is also available into all the event management capabilities that we have. In addition to the agent tag, we also introduce new addition to the existing function, which is get regular expression function. Earlier this get regular expression function was just only returning the Boolean value, which basically tells that the regular expression is matched now on this particular line of string. And then after that, customer need to work basically on getting the string extracted from a sentence, right? So what we did is we now, as soon as the regular expression made with the criteria, it also returns the list of tokens which actually it's matched to, right? So we enhance this capability as well. Also, we have introduced the agent tag into the group configuration page. This was also, one of the asks from various customers who are using actually, group configuration, where they wanted to say that, okay, I wanted to see only the, entity events from the entity types which has the agent tag associated, like Windows and SQL Server monitoring. So you can actually start using this, and I will do some deep dive into that as well. Then in addition to this, we also now have the table view association into the group pages as well as into the advanced filter. Right now, when we had this previously without table view, the customer usually says that it's all works fine, but there are specific personas like Windows operator and Unix operators. They wanted to see the event, the way the event basically presented on those pages in a different view, using the different table view, right? So now that also can be associated. Again, we will do some deep dive session on that. And then also we have now out of the box dashboard capabilities about the Kubernetes deployment. It covers basically Kubernetes deployment along with the daemon sets and the container visualization. So these are a few high level capabilities. I mean, of course, we did much more what I have listed here. And then towards the end, you will see some reference document as well to go through that what we have done, on top of this. So these are the like high level features. Now let's deep dive into some of the features that I have highlighted here. As you can see that, in this particular screen, that now the presentation of the baseline is actually differentiated based on this color coding, right? So hourly baseline, daily baseline, and the weekly baseline and the monthly baseline is actually covered at the health indicator side as well, where customer will be able to see that, okay, if there is any deviation happen, out of this four baseline violation, then they will be able to see more accurate event into their system. And this basically, kind of like give the overall seasonality to the metrics that you see here. Now, in BHome also, we have the performance graph, right? In performance graphs, we also shows these the metrics which qualifies for the baseline. We show in the performance graphs these baseline, where customers has a lot of flexibilities to say that they only wanted to see the performance graph for only for monthly, weekly, or hourly, right? So they have those kind of choice into the performance graph under the user preference section. And in addition to that, as you see, there are two types of graph, right? One is basically the flat bar, where at particular time, there is a jumps, all of a sudden jump happen onto the baseline trend. So you see that these kind of, jumps is happening in a straight line, right? At this particular of time. But customers also requesting from us that they do not want to see like this, right? It's very horizontal for some time, and then suddenly how come there is a jump, right? So they wanted to see actually how this trend is getting, adjusted to this particular line. So we explain some complications there that, if I will do this, then probably, the question will be here that if my anomaly event is falling, outside this particular hour, right? So it will still be showing within the graph, within the shaded area, but it is actually out of, it is violating my baseline. But customer said that, yeah, it is fine. I need to basically see how the trend is getting adjusted. So I wanted to see that choice also into the performance graph. So what we did is we also have given the option to users, where users can say select the options to see the adjusted trend, not just the flat line that you are seeing here, right? So we have all sorts of these options into under the user preference. So this gives more flexibilities into the user hand, where they can apply the choice as per how they wanted to see the data. Moving on to the next part, which is auto anomaly event management capability, right? As I was mentioning that now under the configuration page, we have also this particular feature, which is called manage metrics. So once you will click on this manage metrics option, you can actually tell that, okay, you do not want to see an event for system uptime, or you do not want to, see the VM memory used for lower baseline or higher baseline, or you do not want to generate, auto anomaly events in this scenario, right? So for some of those metrics, so you can actually say that. But in addition to this, right, when you have this event page, right, when you log in into BHome and then you landed on the BHome event page, from those three dots also you can give a feedback by selecting an event and click on those three dots, and you can actually give the feedback for the anomaly event that, okay, this anomaly event, I do not like it, and I do not want to, generate an event for this particular matrix, right? For upper baseline or lower baseline deviation. So that means you are blacklisting this particular matrix. So that also you will be listed here, that what matrix you have blacklisted and what are not, right? So you see all sorts of these information in under the manage matrix page. From here, actually, you can, if you feel comfortable, again, that, okay, this matrix needs to be qualified for the baseline violation, then you can actually, deselect this option from here, then update the settings that will start generating the event. Now, customers usually ask, how long it takes basically to generate an auto anomaly event. So we usually take, like, if you will go with the hourly baseline. So we started to see the trend analysis after 4 hours of data collection, but when it goes to, like, weekly, monthly, right, and hourly. So that kind of analysis only can happen, after a 1 month of data, right? So sometimes you will see that the events are not getting generated, even though you enable this feature. And the main reason is that now we have this 4 types of baseline, and then 4 types of baseline has to be falling under the deviation. Then only the event will start, generating. But we start, baselining from after 4 to 6 hours. Moving on to the next feature, which is introduction of agent tag in the group configuration page. As you can see, under the entity selection criteria, we have introduced this agent tag as well. And I know there are a lot of customers actually who are asking for this feature, this particular agent tag to be introduced under the entity selection criteria, because as I mentioned, the customer wanted to, they are deploying the agent by tagging them that this is my Windows server and also monitoring SQL server. So now they can filter it based on this agent tag, right? So they can filter, and this makes the life for the customers who's working on group configuration page a little easier. Not 100% easier, but yeah, I mean, little easier. And also, in addition to this, what we did is we also introduced the table views. Right now, while creating the group page, I selected that, okay, I wanted to filter the entity types which are Windows, but whether the visualization of Windows event versus Unix event for the Unix operator will be same, the answer is no, right? So customer wanted to have a table view association as well, along with the selection criteria, where they can specify that, okay, this table belongs to basically, this particular selection criteria. And then once this selection criteria is applied on the table view, and then once the group configuration page is logged in, when the user is logged in into the group pages, they will see the visualization according to what the table view is associated with this selection criteria. This is another important change. Another important change to call out is the event advanced filter association with the table view. Again, as you can see that I have selected my class equals to anomaly in this screenshot. It's a little weird at the moment, and then I have created an anomaly testing table view where I wanted to, see only the message and only the class type of the event, right? So what I did is I created this table, and then I selected this table. I have associated this table with my selection criteria. So once I will apply this filter, that means I will only see the events which are coming from the class equals to anomaly, and then the table, right? The table which I have created to show me the information. So that way, again, it becomes easier for users to create the advanced filter and associate the table views according to how they wanted to see the events. Good thing here is that, if somebody is trying to delete this particular table view from the backend, then it will also give you the warning by saying that this table view is also associated with this particular advanced filter, and this table view is also selected with the group configuration page. So this is an a complement which we have given on top of this feature, where user will be given a warning before deleting this particular table from the backend. Moving on to the other features which I talked about, the get regex matches function, which gives you the more flexibility into the search capabilities, where you can not only now match the string pattern, but also you can extract the list of tokens that match with this expression. This is also supported as per the feature parity also. That makes sense. So that's how we basically bring this functionality. So I hope my screen keep on moving. As you might have seen, one message popped up just now that there is some instability into my network. I hope that the screens are moving.
Yep, we are able to see.
Okay, perfect. Now, another important change that we have bring back basically from TSOM days to BHOM days is introducing the event APIs, to adjust the slots into the summary overview page. Now, again, this was coming as in feedback to customers, where customer wanted to, adjust this summary overview page not to the default slots, right? They wanted to say that, okay, this particular events belongs to the SNMP class, and then SNMP class has this slot. I only wanted to see, these 2 to 3 slots on my summary page, because all the slots are irrelevant for me. So they can actually, do this now through the API. At the moment, what we are allowing this feature is to be modified through the APIs. But future, what we are planning to do is also, we are also planning to introduce a UI way, where actually customer will be able to select the event slots which they wanted to see in the summary view. And then, they can very well control all this feature, all these slots from the UI perspective. We have just implemented the backend, and this feature is going to be continuously, into the development phase to provide the UI interaction also. So moving on to the next feature, where I was talking about out of the box Kubernetes a dashboard. Now we have these dashboards out of the box, where customer can see the overall view for the overall health of the Kubernetes deployment and the daemon sets in clusters. So the one dashboard that you are seeing here is about the Kubernetes deployment, where it shows the trend around the CPU utilization, memory utilization, right, and a couple of other metrics. And then also, also it provides and easy, basically, as these are out of the box, you can still go ahead and do some edit into the panels the way actually you wanted to see. So I mean, all sorts of functionality is there from the Grafana dashboard perspective. But yeah, I mean, these dashboards are available out of the box that helps to visualize the environment, more effectively. So with this, actually, this concludes my feature sets, and the next slides are talking about the references. And here I would like to, hand it over to Samantha.
Thank you. So I won't spend too much time on this slide. It's just really to give you some ideas of some useful links that we've been using across all of our webinars that have been BHOM related or AIOps. These will all be sent out to you as slides, so you don't have to worry about taking note of trying to find where they are. So you will be able to click on the hyperlinks. So they're just a really call to action if you want to find out what's going on in the BHOM community, where our product managers are often liaising with customers and also looking at ideas. Then we have the YouTube channels that are super useful if you're still starting out on your journey on AIOps. Webinar page, most of you have probably already signed up to it in communities, but any webinars that we run, they'll all be put on one page, and all of the content post-event will be posted there as well as also with the YouTube channels that we use. The other slide I just want to go through, we've got one more before we get to the Q&A, and then I will start unmuting everyone. If you can just move to the next slide for me. So some of you may have already received this. We work very closely in partnership with Gartner and also our marketing team. I've left it with, although it's a very busy slide, there's content in here that needs to be read, so you can do that at your own perusal. If you've got time now, if you scan that QR code that's in the top right-hand side, it will take you straight to the Gartner study. We would really appreciate your feedback, and just to let you know, you will qualify if you cover all of the aspects on here, a $25 gift voucher, which will come from marketing. They will sort that out for you. So we'd love to hear back from you. If you don't want to do it now, when we send out the slides over the next 24, 48 hours, this will be dropped in for you too. Other than that, the only other reminder is obviously there's the session on the 28th. So for those that do have colleagues, I will share that in the thank you email that will come out to you with all the content that's shared today. So I think that's it. Amol, if you just want to move to the Q&A slide, and then we can stop sharing. I know there's been a few questions into the Q&A, so I'm going to start you off with the first one while I unmute everyone. Someone's asked the question, when should we expect to get the release for SaaS customers? One of you can take the question.
Yeah, so for SaaS, the 25.2 is already available. It is generally available, so you should have it. Now it is already a matter of deployment in the respective stack. So that that should it is ongoing, and we hope that it should be complete within this month. So across all our customer deployments and everything. So this 25.2 release should be deployed on the SaaS for all customers.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully that's answered the question. I'm not sure who asked that one. Then we have another question, which is from Premslaw. Are the dashboards generated by GPT dynamic, i.e. they change at the source of data changes, or are they static vector images presenting a snapshot in time?
No, they're totally dynamic. So they change as the data changes, they change as the time changes, they change as as new data gets added also. So they are totally dynamic.
Okay, next question is from Juan. When 25.2 is going to be released?
So I think this is what we just answered. So it is already generally available. I think just a matter of few more days, I think, before it gets deployed across all our customer tenants. In fact, some of you may have already seen this in your production stacks, but for those who haven't or still waiting, so just bear with us for a few more days. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And then Philippe's asked a question, and I saw you were about to answer it, Anuj. As the standard process to request a new feature is to go through the community ideas, it would be good to have a summary of ideas that were picked up, rejected, or planned for next release. So I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, so I mean, as PMs, we value the customer feedback. We continuously review the ideas posted on the BMC communities. If we we have and as part of our product roadmap and the release planning, we do try to take some of these ideas, if not all. So hopefully in our maybe a next roadmap call or something, we can even share what are the items that are going to come in the next release, and also take that as a feedback. If there are any urgent items still pending, we can again note those down as a feedback, or feel free to post again in the community saying that, hey, the urgency of those ideas, or any other comments that you want to put on those ideas, so that as PMs it will be again helpful for us to prioritize those ideas over some of the other ones.
And some of the items that we see as a part of 25.2 release, the ideas are also taken into the consideration, especially around the group pages configuration to introduce agent tag, table view association. So all these things basically given as a feedback to us. And as Anuj said that BPM team internally review those ideas on a continuous basis, and sometimes we interact with you also to get more inputs around those feedback. Yeah, I mean, so ideally what we do is we do internally review those ideas and create a roadmap around that.
And actually, just to add to that, Philippe, if you need any assistance or you've got specific ones that you really want to promote, and that's the same for everyone else that's on here, if you want to drop me a message, I will also add those to the thank you email. So if we want to raise the idea up and others feel that it's also equally as important, that might be a good way to send that over. I don't know if, Philippe, you wanted to add anything else? I can see you've come off mute, but I don't know if your audio is available. Can you hear us?
Oh, sorry, double mute.
Hello.
No, that is fine. I mean, a slide with ideas that were picked up in the last cycle would be great for next roadmap presentation, if I can suggest. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for the
Sure.
request.
And I know obviously if you've got any specifically that are important that you want to share to this wider community, the whole point of obviously ideas on communities is to share them. So if there's any that's really burning and pressing, I'm more than happy to share it with this audience on here to vote it up.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for your question.
Some of you I am already connected, and I think Anuj might also be connected with you guys. So feel free to idea portal is just not the end, right? We are here. We are always available for you, and always happy to interact with you guys rather than just going through the idea portal.
Thank you, Amal. So I think we've got one more question. Do we get all the presented features with the latest release? So I think that's more of a generic question.
We do have these feature anyway, on our doc page, which I think Samantha is going to share. So there is nothing basically which is not listed on our doc pages. We have all these features available on the doc pages, which is publicly available. So yeah, I mean, you basically you don't need this presentation.
Yes, absolutely. You will have those, and just I want to add one caveat there that at least on some of the agentic AI stuff, anyways, these are available, but those are still in a kind of an ongoing iterative process, and we will be happy to do kind of a design partnership also to get some more live feedback from you as you try these features on your environment as well.
I will share the docs page actually. I'll get that from you and put that into the blog post. So once everything goes out, everyone can see where that is. And if anyone does want to be a design partner, I do work closely with the product team. Let us know because we can get you signed up to that as well. Okay, that's all our questions that we've got. We've got 5 minutes left. So if anyone's got any burning questions or anything you want to ask Amol or Anuj, either raise your hand, put it into the Q&A, or come off mute. I'm guessing everyone's gone shy. Thank you, Philippe, for talking live. Okay, so all of this content that we've shared today, we will share out. When I do get the questions that come from the 28th, because they're often quite useful to share across both the sessions, I will update the blog post with all of the questions in so you can get access to that as well. Other than that, Anuj and Amol, thank you very much for presenting today. I know this is the first of the two that we've got, and we will be doing regular updates. And I would just ask if anyone's got any ideas of content out there that you want to see in a webinar. It's not just the roadmap sessions that this team run. There are other people that we work with. So if there's anything that you need any help with, please just fill in the survey, which will take you 5 minutes. And all of this will be put into one email, so you don't have to start looking everywhere for this content.